live stream broadcasts of this city that we're building. We've named it YouTube. We basically built most of our cities using only cable cars. So our primary mode of mass transit is actually just cable cars. So if we look at our traffic view here, we can see that we have a traffic flow of 93%, which is really spectacular for a city of this size. 68,000 people with a traffic flow of 92%. And look at our bank account. We've got 10 million in our bank account, making 14,800 every week. And this is on the PS4, so there are no cheats or mods. So we are building a really, really good city here. It's probably one of the best cities I've built in terms of how well it's doing. If you look at our brand new residential that we built on the last episode, I mean, look at that. They're just like, there's a lot of level 5 buildings there. That's all residentials, folks. And if we look at our commercial zone, look at that. Got some high-rise building popping up. And if we look at our industrial zone, it's mostly like high-tech type buildings. This is not your typical dirty industrial zone. It's just pretty crazy. Alright, so in this episode, we finally made it at long last to the point where we can build monuments. On the last broadcast, we ended it once we had achieved a milestone of 65,000 people, which actually unlocked monuments and the international airport. There are no more mines to achieve in the game, so we're basically, if you want to think of it this way, at the end game where we can build monuments now. So in order to build monuments, there are some things you have to do, some prerequisites, if you will. And those prerequisites are basically the ones, if you go to the building and monuments area, are the ones labeled with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Actually, including 6. So basically, you would have to build all of these. I haven't unlocked the natural disasters monument yet, but you know, we can do that in future episodes if you guys want to. And if you do, you know, leave a comment so I can see that there's an interest in doing that. So let's see, where can we start flopping some of these? You know, I'm just gonna randomly place them on the map. There's, you know, the goal here really is to just place these on the map so that we can build the monuments. So forgive me if I'm just randomly placing them on the map. And here's why, because when you look at a monument, say the Eden project, it says construct business park. So instead of looking at all the different requirements, I already know that you have to build basically all of these. This is the business park. You know what, we'll rightfully try to build that one in our business sector section here. So you know, I'm just gonna go ahead and just build all of these for right now. Our mall, let's see, where should we build our mall? Let's go ahead and pause the game and demolish this for right now, and then well, I guess we don't really have to pause the game and build that there. So I'm not gonna build the natural disasters buildings, because I actually haven't played that DLC long enough to actually unlock the monument for that. Oh, I did not mean to destroy the bike path there. Forgive me, my citizens. Alright, so we have some bigger structures here. Again, I do apologize that I am just basically placing these buildings without really much thought as far as where they are going. The end goal here is really to be able to build the monuments. And these buildings are pretty expensive to maintain, by the way. So they're some of them go up to 3,000, like the Statue of Liberty. that should help increase the land value of our city here. There's a park right there. We're just gonna get rid of that. Oh, so much more buildings to build, and these get more and more expensive. This one's a really large radius. Let's build that one there. Ooh, big building. That is one big building. I'm tempted to just put it here. Will it fit? Possibly. Oh, it does. Perfect. And what is this? This is the aquarium. Why don't we build that close to our citizens? Maybe they'll want to enjoy an aquarium. And what is this? Science center. I don't know where is an appropriate place to build a science center, but let us go ahead and just build it here. What do we have here? This is servicing services office. I don't know. Maybe just build it here. Not sure really where to put it, honestly. Alright. Sea and... what is it? Sea and sky skyscrapers. Let's go ahead and build that here. Don't really want to add traffic to our city. And what is this one? This is the Theater of Wonders. Let's go ahead and build that. I guess we can build it here. I'm trying to reserve some space for where we're gonna plop the monuments. And what is this one? This is the Modern Art Museum, or MAM for short. And this one is the Cathedral of Plenitude. And you can see it's significantly affecting our weekly income. It's actually draining our income. Flop that there. So now if we head over to the monument, so now you can see that we've unlocked the Eden Project, and if you read it carefully, it says the Eden Project is a huge glass house, perfect for vast gardens full of exotic fruits and plants. It greatly increases the city's profile and removes pollution from land, air, and water, making land in the city area more valuable. Wow, see, that is the monument of all monuments. We want a monument that removes pollution to land, air, and sea. Look at all the happy people. Perfect. Now the next thing that we want to build is the fusion power plant. The power of the stars is within your grasp, and the energy problems of yesterday are gone once the fusion power plant is operational. Offers huge amounts of clean energy without the fear of radioactive fallout or other pollution. Look at how much power it provides. 16,000 megawatts. If you look at how much power we're consuming right now, or yeah, we're only consuming 772 megawatts. So that is an insane amount of power. Let's go ahead and build that. I am tempted to demolish. I'm gonna pause the game. No, let's go ahead and build it, say, need a road. I just want to build it where all my power generators are at. So let's go ahead and build the fusion power plant right there. And we might have to put a water pipe there. Let's see. Yes, we do. So let's look at our electric output. There you go. So now we're producing 17,000 megawatts of power. So you know what that means, right? We can basically just demolish these buildings. Let's just turn them off for right now. It'll just be a waste of money to maintain these power. We don't really need to anymore, thanks to the power of fusion. You know what? I don't like these blinking icons, so I'm just gonna get and just destroy them now. We might need to run a power line. Actually, we can just move. Yep, let's just run a power line here, so there is no service interruption in our city. But basically, with that fusion power plant, which is generating 17 or 16,000 megawatts of power, that is the only power source that we need for our entire city. So let's look at our power generators. As you can see, we really only have one in the city. It's just a fusion power plant. So that's the advantage of building the fusion power plant monuments. You know, we don't actually need these power lines anymore. I just needed them temporarily when we were building that right half of our city there. So let me just take a few moments to get rid of them. I gotta be careful not to accidentally demolish the highway there. Sorry to be doing a little bit of maintenance. This is probably something I should have just done offline. Alright, there you go. So let's go ahead and build the next monument. This one is the space elevator, and this is a good one to build, actually. Let's build the space elevator. So if we read the description, it says, people near and far travel to the city to see the space elevator. This means a huge influx of tourists who also like to spend money while visiting. Alright, so where is the best place to put our space elevator? You know what we're gonna do? Let's go ahead and demolish this park and then move that building over. Just one. We don't actually need to keep all these buildings that we had built earlier. We just needed them as a prerequisite for the monuments, but now that we have the monuments, we can actually just get rid of them if we wanted to. So let's build a space elevator right there. Got all the happy people. Now let's go ahead and convert this commercial zone. Let's go ahead and create a district. And you know what I'm about to do with this commercial zone, right? I'm about to turn it into a tourist zone. So let's convert. Let's flag all of this as a tourist district. Hey, let's even include some of this stuff here. Why not? Why not? We don't really want the residential, but it doesn't really matter. In any event, so let's tag it as a tourist destination. Myrtle Square. Kind of reminds me of Myrtle Beach. Perfect. And let's go ahead and relabel that. So notice that our income has suffered greatly since we built all of those monuments, and we can get rid of some of those prerequisites buildings that we built earlier, but let's try to keep them for right now. We'll call this Tourist District for a lack of a better name. Perfect. So if we look at our tourism now, we're probably not making any money. Okay. Notice under the specialization with the happy face mask there, under beneath that it says leisure and then tourism. Tourism is 0 right now, but if we give the computer some time, I guarantee you it will increase. What the computer is going to do is going to demolish all of these buildings, and it's going to be turned into buildings that are specific to tourism. So if you've never developed or built tourism in your city, or don't know how to develop or build them, personally I would wait until you get the space elevator and then designate some commercial zones as your tourist district. Alright, so let's go ahead and build the next monument. So the next monument we want to build is the medical center. So the medical center is a research facility that works on finding cures for diseases and ailments. It is so vast and efficient that it can easily take care of all of your citizens' health needs. The medical center has a helipad and can accept helicopters. So let's go ahead and build the medical city back to our original city where we started the game. So let's build it right here. Look at all the happy people. The thousands of happy people. You know, if we wanted to, we can demolish all the hospitals and clinics that we have built so far and just let that one building take care of everything. We could, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave everything as is. Last but not the least is the Hadron Collider. The Hadron Collider is a place of science. Various research takes place in the facility and offers education to citizens. A city with Hadron Collider does not need to worry about education. The facility provides it for all citizens. So for example, if we look at our education right now, you can see that we're kind of below the we're below the green mark right now, so which means I've neglected the education of my citizens just a little bit. But once we build the Hadron Collider, this one building will provide basically all of the educational needs for the entire city. Look at all the happy people. Look at that. It's just crazy how it just ripples through. So now if we examine our education needs, look at that. Our capacity is 1 million students, but we've only got 7,000 students who are actually eligible. So that's what the Hadron Collider does. It lets you just build that one structure, the Hadron Collider, and if I wanted to, I can go back and delete all of the elementary schools, all the high schools, and all the universities that I've built so far in the game. Again, not gonna bother to do that. As you can see, our income has already basically recovered. We're making 13,000, 15,000 every week now. So while we started with 10 million in our bank, it looks like we spent about 7 million to build all the prerequisite buildings, as well as the 5 monuments. So basically, this is it, guys. This is the end game. This is what happens when you build all the monuments in the game. So if we look at our land value, because of the Eden project, or the Eden monument, every single square tile of our city is now considered high land value. So basically, if you wanted to, you could delete all the parks that you built so far. Again, I'm not going to. I'm fairly happy with the way the city turned out, the way it was built even before we built all of these monuments. So I'm not really relying on these monuments in any way to sustain my city. My city was already a self-sustaining green city even before we built all of these monuments. But you can see we have an insane income of 34,000, 35,000 every week now. And the city wants us to keep growing. Look at the population, 900 per week, 1,000 per week. I mean, the city is growing, even though I haven't built any new residential zones. But we've got quite a bit of land, so I don't know if we should build more. I'm kind of tempted to build more. Why not, right? We just basically started in our live broadcast, and yeah, I think we should build. We should build a little bit more. I see Dark Knight over there. Should say hi to him. Hey, Dark Knight. How's it going, man? Welcome back. I appreciate you always coming back to my live broadcasts. So in case you missed it, so we basically built all the 5 original monuments in the game. I haven't played Natural Disasters yet, so I haven't unlocked that monument yet. And if you look at our income, we have an insane 47,000 per week income, with a bank account of 3 million right now. We started with 10 million when the broadcast started about 15-20 minutes ago, but we ended up building all the prerequisite structures and buildings in order to build the monuments. Look at our income, it's 50,000 per week now. Now we started with tourism having 0 income. Let's check out how it's doing. Hey, we're doing a pretty modest modest progress here of 5,500 per week, and not all the buildings are built yet. Our population skyrocketed to 81,000 now. Look at how small our city is, and we're gonna hit, we're probably gonna hit like 85,000, I hope, before the end of the broadcast. And if I'm being smart, I should prepare the next section of this of our city here, so we can expand. And by the way, guys, if you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe my channel, because I'm actually trying to grow my channel, so I can keep doing this more for you guys. I actually already pre-ordered and purchased Kingdom Hearts, so I'm going to be live broadcasting that. So definitely, subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for some Kingdom Hearts live broadcasts in the next, day or so. I can't wait, actually. I'm pretty excited. It's like the most expensive game I've ever bought. It's like $100 for Kingdom Hearts 3 and the previous installments of the series. So if you look at our beautiful city, the bulk of this is really populated. Look at my traffic flow. It's 90%. The only traffic that I have is really right here, the original connection to my city. Everywhere else, I use cable cars to populate this portion of the city. So if you notice, there's hardly any traffic at all. So if you've never used cable cars in your game before, I would highly recommend it. Check this out. We built this entire residential area with no road connection to the freeway or to the main city that I started with. I'm basically just using cable cars, this one right there. And my citizens, they're just walking. They're just happily walking and taking a bike to get to and from work. So, if you think that you need to have roads or have connection to a highway to build a pretty industrious city, guys, I'm here to tell you, you really don't. Now, I did build my industrial complex here and my commercial zone here with a cargo train station and 2 train stations for people. That way people can come in and out of my commercial or tourist district now, and also in my industrial district there, pretty easily using a train. And the train actually leads to outside of my city, so it's not really my own people that's riding that train. And maybe my own people are riding that train to get out of the city. I don't know. But as you can see, we just built the space elevator, and we just recently designated this commercial district to be our tourist district. So you can see it is slowly but surely building into high-rise buildings. And why wouldn't it? The land value of every square inch of our city now, it's considered a high land value thanks to the Eden project, which we built, the Eden Monument, which we built right there. And it's a really cool alien-looking type building. So there's a great demand for more industry right now, so I'm kind of tempted to build a little bit more while our city's just kind of waiting to grow. Let's actually prepare for the next wave of growth that our city, I'm sure, will experience, because we just built all 5 monuments. So I would like to build another cargo train station here. Cargo train terminal, as it's really called. I wonder if I can do that. And that. Alright, so we're gonna need some water, obviously. Let's go ahead and flop down the roads that we're gonna need. And again, in this city, I primarily build roads with bike lanes, because I do expect my citizens to just basically walk and bike. Hey Clayton, I just saw your comments. I'm actually playing on the PS4. So I'm playing on the PS4, so there are no mods or cheats in this game. And you can kind of tell I'm playing on the PS4 because of this radial menu. This is only on the PS4 or on the Xbox as well, of course. Plus, I think you can see on the menu on the roads there's the L1 and R1 that also gives it away that I'm on a console. And so the reason I'm playing this game on the console instead of on my Mac is I have a MacBook Pro. I have a 2017 MacBook Pro, but as you all know, Macs are just terrible for gaming. Oh, if you can read that little sign on the left, it says ready to use Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8. Now it's going to download Kingdom Hearts 3. So excited, can't wait. You know, I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 3 since the PS2 days. So basically, once I start playing Kingdom Hearts 3, it's going to be almost like I'm playing it again for the very first time, because it's been so long since I last played it, and I really, barely even remember the storyline. And I've tried to get a refresher on YouTube on the storyline, but it's gotten so complex now. It's like, oh my goodness. Hey Victor, I don't know if there are some mods in the PS4, I'm not really sure. So, I mean, hey, if you can find a link to that, I mean, definitely link it in the chat, because that would be useful to know. I mean, I don't really mod or hack my PS4 in any way. I kind of just treat my PS4 as an appliance. You know, I like to just turn it on and just play and not have to really worry about anything. That's just me. I know a lot of you guys like to mod and do things with your PS4 and Xbox. I think when I was younger, you know, I was more into that, but as you get older, you get lazier, and you basically just want to turn on a computer or a console and just, you know, just expect it to work without any fuzz. Now, I did notice that there is a DLC coming out. Well, it's already come out on the PC, but it's coming out on console. I noticed I saw an Xbox box of the game, of the DLC, but I didn't see it in the PlayStation Store. I looked at the PlayStation Store and looked at all the available DLCs for City Skyline, and I just didn't see anything that's kind of I can pre-order. So if you've just joined us, we just built all the 5 monuments, the 5 original monuments in the game. So our, you know, look at our weekly income. It's 56,000 per week right now, which is insane. We started with 10 million in our bank account, but in order to build all the monuments and the prerequisite buildings, we ended up using up 7 million actually. But you can see our bank account is quickly bouncing back. I'm hoping we're going to exceed 10 million by the time this broadcast ends, but we'll see, right? So I'm expanding our city here, since I have some room on the map. So I'm going to basically reproduce the template that I've done here. And if you don't know what I've done here on the previous broadcast, we basically built a residential area here, in an industrial zone and a commercial zone, and obviously we connected them through the railway system. The left and the right side, the residential zone and the industrial and commercial zones, are only connected through these bike paths. So I don't actually allow cars to go from the residential zone to the commercial zone or the industrial zone. I only use cable cars as a means of mass transit. I know that sounds kind of crazy, and if you've never played the game and used cable cars as a means of mass transit, you really should give it a try, because cable cars are very, very cheap. They're very, very easy to set up, because it's not like setting up a bus or a metro line where you first lay out the stops, you know, and then you have to create a line. Cable cars are kind of like WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. Just lay out the stops, lay out the cables, and you're done. You don't have to create any lines. There's just no complication, and I really like that about cable cars. So we're gonna essentially set up this part of our city, and it is gonna be self-sustaining. So it is gonna need its own police, fire department, trash, and all that good stuff. You know, if I was being smart about my city, I should demolish all my universities and all my hospitals and whatnot, so I can save some money, because the monuments provide them now. But since we're generating so much money, 55,000 per week, you know, I don't want to waste you guys' time and do that now on the live broadcast. I'm just drinking water. My throat is a little scratchy this morning. So let's go ahead and lay down the roads. And again, I'm using roads that have bike lanes on them. Actually, you know what? I want to lay down the train first. So we're going to build a normal train station for people, not cargo this time. And I tend to build my train station close to the tracks, because I really don't like the tracks taking up too much space on the land. So even for me, this train station's a little too far off of the main track here. I kind of like the way I did this one here. But I'm not going to demolish that now and redo all of that on the live broadcast and waste you guys' time. So if you missed our last broadcast on how we built this left part of the city here, well, you're going to see me rebuild it again here on the right side. So at least a smaller version of it, it seems. There's not as much land on the right side there. Hey Victor, I just saw your comment. Yeah, I used to play City Skylines on the PC as well. I bought it on Steam. That was back in 2015 when it first came out. And I do agree with you. I think, you know, if you have the PC manpower to play this game, I would personally recommend what Victor is saying. Definitely play this game on the PC. There's just so many mods and add-ons and stuff you can download in the Steam Workshop that actually in many ways makes the game more fun. Like I said, I don't really have a choice. For some bizarre reason, my MacBook Pro just plays this game really horribly. I don't know why. It could be because I have 3 monitors plugged into my laptop right now, and it's just struggling to power the game with 3 monitors connected to it. I'm not really sure. So let's go ahead and connect the water line. So when you build an industrial zone, well, at least when I build an industrial zone, I tend to build them either like right next to each other, actually. That way I don't have to build any mass transit or anything like that to connect my industrial zone to the commercial zone. I know a lot of people tend to build like one map as their commercial zone and then another, you know, map as industrial zone and just connect them using mass transit. Actually, my goal in this game is to just reach 100,000 and have like as close to 90% traffic flow as possible. And the reason for that is in the other games that I've played in the past, I always had problems with traffic. And so when I started this game about 3 or 4 days ago now, my main goal was really to create a city that has little or no traffic. And again, if you look at my city, we've got 89,000 population now, and our traffic flow is very close to 90%, 87%. I mean, it's fluctuating a little bit. So I'm going to stop yapping and actually start building. The computer wants more commercial zones. You know, before we lay out those things, you know, let's just go ahead and lay them out now. Alright, let's see. High density commercial zones, actually right here. That was a mistake over there. Let's get rid of that. I'm going to reserve that space for industry, actually, not commercial zone. So this is a brand new independent part of the city. We are going to need a fire department, of course. A clinic. I may not even need a clinic since I built the medical city, but habits die hard. A police station. We're gonna need a crematory, of course. We're also gonna need, most importantly, a garbage incinerator. I think I'm gonna be lazy and just put that there. And so, since this is a self-contained area, we are gonna need some residents to actually, well, so that people can come to work on these areas. And I haven't really given much thought. We're running out of room there. Why don't we just go ahead and buy that piece of land, since we have the money and availability. Hey, the gaming mites, I just saw your comment there. So I'm actually playing this game on the PS4 right now. I think the only disadvantage to playing this on the PS4, in addition to the fact that obviously you don't really get the you don't get the mods, or I don't know if you can get the mods, is the fact that it's so hard to control the game sometimes when you say laying out roads, like what I'm doing now on the control pad. Sometimes I feel like such a retard when I do that, and it's just so easy to do it on the PC with a mouse. So as you watch me lay out these roads and I struggle a little bit, again, bear in mind I'm on the PS4, and it does introduce some challenges that I honestly did not foresee. So actually I'm just going to go ahead and just lay this road all the way through. I am building this city in a very unconventional way. Not the way most people would build a city, and I'll tell you in a little bit. It's because I use cable cars and I create disconnected areas like this. So if you look at my city here, it's not connected to any highway, or this portion of the city, the new one that we're building now. It's not connected to any part of the highway. It's only connected to the railway systems here. And the reason I do that is I don't want to worsen the traffic in my city. Currently I have a 91% traffic flow for a city of 90,000. I would say that's pretty amazing. You know, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I have to say this is one of the better cities that I've actually built in the 3 years since I've owned this game on the PC. I mean, I know this game hasn't been on the PS4 for 3 years. Oh, you're watching me on the PS4? the gaming mic? That's awesome. I was trying to figure out whether I should live stream on the PS4, I mean on the YouTube or Twitch. I think a lot of people, a lot of gamers are actually on Twitch. But maybe I'm just old school and I just like YouTube for some reason. I don't know, do you guys watch a lot of people on Twitch? Is that where I should like move to? I don't know how to see, what I'm really trying to do, guys, is I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers. Because I actually want to start building up my YouTube channel. Because I'm really enjoying doing this live broadcast for you guys. But a friend of mine told me I actually can't even begin to monetize a YouTube channel unless I have, at a bare minimum, 1,000 subscribers. And right now I have a pathetic, what is it now, 146? I don't even know. And I don't really know how to get more subscribers to my channel. So you know, hey guys, if you guys haven't subscribed, please do. It's just one button click to you, but you know, to me it's a big deal. You know, every subscriber counts. I mean, I get really happy when a person subscribes to my channel. It's like I haven't had to work so hard to accomplish something as getting a subscriber to subscribe to my channel. So let's see. So one of the problems we're having now is, of course, we just built this new city and there is no direct connection to this portion of our new city to any part of our city. It's because I haven't actually extended my cable car. I forgot to do that. So let me go ahead and do that now. So if you've never used a cable car before, well, you're gonna watch me use it now. Let's see. I'd like to, I guess I'll just lay it out right here. Maybe even right here. Dun, dun, dun. I'm kind of being anal. I want to kind of get it as straight as possible to the other cable car stop over there. So let's see, we need to, let me just pause the game because this is actually a end stop for the cable car. So I need to demolish that and replace it with just a normal cable car stop. Okay. So much for symmetry. Now it's not going to be straight. That's okay. Oopsie, is that right? I think that looks right. Okay, now we need to connect the other end. Uh-oh. Is this gonna work? Uh-oh. Oh boy. Where is our stop? It's over here. Oh, whew, just barely made that work. Okay, so that should help populate this part of the city with the cable car stops. And if you don't know how efficient cable cars are, they are highly, highly efficient. Well, I just demolished this, so there'll be nobody there now. But if we look at this one cable car stop, let's see. Look at this one. This one is servicing 900 passengers. Can you think of any mass transit system in this game where one stop can service 900 passengers? I can't think of one. But this one stop can service 780 people easily. Hey, the gaming mites. I don't know how much this game costs. I just saw your comment there. I bought this game a while back, probably about a year ago. If you guys know how much it costs, I mean, you know, please, if you can Google it, just type it in the message there. But I would think no more than $40–50. I mean, this is an old game that just, you know, kind of quote recently came out on the PS4. By recently, I think it's been over a year, right? So it's going to take a little bit of time to develop this area. Wow, we're gonna hit. We've hit over 90,000 of population so far. Hey guys, I'm gonna get some water real quick. My throat is like really scratchy right now. Alright, I'm back. So you know, one thing I have not built in this game so far, in the city that I'm playing right now, is a metro. Normally, with any game that I play, any city that I start, I usually build a metro stop, but I actually haven't done it in this game. I've just always assumed that every large city in the game should have a metro station or metro stops, but that's one of the experiments that I'm doing here, is that can I build a city that doesn't have a subway system, a metro stop? Hey guys, so yeah, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. You know, I'm actually trying to grow my channel so I can do more, you know, live streaming of games for you guys. I just bought pre-order Kingdom Hearts 3, so I'm gonna be live streaming that in a day or two. So that's gonna be pretty exciting. You know what I should do is actually extend this cable car connection. I think it's that electric fan that's blowing on my face that's making my throat itchy. Let me go ahead and turn that off. So we actually need to extend this cable car line stop here because we're going to build out a tiny bit of residential here. And I know I have these roads connected right now, but I'm actually going to demolish these roads in a little bit so that the residential zone is actually not really connected to the industrial and commercial zones. And I know that sounds kind of crazy. It's like, why would I want them to be disconnected? Because I don't want to increase traffic in my city. And the only way to cut down on traffic is to just use mass transit and move people from their homes to their workplace through mass transit. Wow, why can't I align this perfectly so I get a 400 construction cost? See, this is one of those struggles that you have when you're using a control pad versus a mouse. There we go. Ah, almost got it. There we go. I guess that's 90 degrees. The terrain not being even makes the road somehow sometimes not look straight. Alright, so we do need to extend our cable car line stop because we are going to build a tiny bit of a residential zone there. Let's see. So we're going to flop down a end of stop. You know what? I need to build more roads. Sorry. Let me do that first. Again, we're picking roads that have bike lanes. That way our citizens are forced to walk and use their bikes to cut down on traffic in our city as our city grows. Because our city is starting to grow. I mean, it's... If I had built more houses... right now our city's declining because the people are demanding jobs. So let's go ahead and build more industrial zones. More commercial zones. Oh, you know, one thing I did forget to build in this part of the city are parks. So parks are very important. Well, actually I don't need to anymore. I forgot. I've got the Eden project now. But you know what? Old habits die hard. So if I didn't have the Eden project, I would have built parks in my city because it makes people happy. And I'm all about making people happy. At least in this game. See, it still makes them happy, even though I have the Eden project. Or the Eden monument now, I should say. So let's go ahead and build more. Let's look at our traffic flow. It's still at 92%. I mean, that's amazingly good. Oh, that's interesting. Why is there a red on this train track here? Oh, the train is going in circles. I don't know if you noticed that. Oh, that's funny. It's just... Oh, okay. Maybe not. That's a poor design on my part, I think. Let's demolish this. And... fix that. By doing that. That way the computer doesn't do some crazy looping thing. Alright, let's continue building roads, laying down some roads. I do want to build my residential area pretty soon, but in order to do that I need to extend my cable car line connection. Let's go ahead and pick the... This is the end of line cable car stop. So the only major downside to using cable cars is obviously you need to have a cable car stop, And you can see that red radius around it. That's the noise pollution that it produces. So it's you know, nothing in life is perfect. So even though this is a good way to solve your traffic problem, it does introduce noise to your city. Noise pollution, that is. You know, I'm not as careful and deliberate about my pipes as most people are, because one, you don't really see it when you're playing the game. So I'm just gonna kind of half-ass it a little bit and just lay them out as quickly as possible so we don't waste time during a live broadcast by being anal about our pipes. Just being respectful of you guys' time. Okay, so that should take care of that. Obviously, we're gonna need electricity, so we'll fix that in a jiffy. But for now, let me go ahead and fix the cable car lines, and I actually have to demolish this guy because that's an end of stop structure, and I need a just a cable car stop. This guy. So it needs to be in the right. It needs to face the right orientation though, because right now it's facing left. Oh, no, it's facing left and right. That is one of the challenges when you use these cable car stops, is that you can't rotate them, which kind of sucks actually. So I might have to do something crazy like, I don't know, put a road here or something. Which of course I can't because I've already constructed like a fire department or something in there. Okay, I guess that would work. Right there. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just has to work. So now we can connect this line. Hopefully they get kind of finicky sometimes. There's some cable car suspended in the air. How funny. So sometimes you do run into where you basically can't connect. Why is it saying I can't connect? Space already occupied. I know it's already occupied. Let's see. Need to place this cable car stop in such a way. Oh, maybe no. Maybe this way? Try this way. Maybe this will work better. Maybe. I'm hoping. Okay, that's perfect. And then we'll connect it to this one over here, which is actually facing the wrong direction. Sorry, I should have just, like, instead of demolishing that, just moved it. But when you've got 5 million in the bank and you're making 45,000 per week, you kind of stop paying attention to money afterwards. Actually, why can't... Oh, it won't let me connect because there's already a road. I should have planned out these roads a little bit better, but it's okay. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna break off. So this is gonna be our residential area. We're gonna break it off from the rest of the map here, road-wise. I'm trying to figure out which way. Maybe here? Nope, that's probably not a good spot. Our city is stagnating. Looks like we need to build more commercial zones. Or let's build them down here. But more importantly, we need to get people working in these new zones that we're zoning. I'm thinking... Yeah, I guess we'll break it off here. I'm trying to sever the connection from... So if you look at what I'm doing here, this is going to be our new residential district area. And if you've noticed, I basically cut it off from the rest of the city. Not a smart thing, you would probably say, but we basically have constructed the most of my city this way, where basically I'm creating a self-sustained area that is not connected to any external road. So since this is a self-contained area, it is going to need its own garbage disposal. We are going to need a fire department, a police department, and we probably don't need to build it, but I'll go ahead and build a clinic anyway. And we're also going to need a crematorium. So sometimes I cheat regarding, see that our power line needs to extend from the left to the right. I think I'm just going to do it with parks. So there you go, it already worked. That way I don't have to lay down power lines, because they just look so ugly to me. Alright, so let's go ahead and zone some of these as residential zones. Let's see if we can get some people to move in here. It might take a while because there's actually no demand for residential zones right now, because the computer wants us to build more industrial zones and more commercial zones. But I mean, people are moving in these new zones, surely. But surely, I mean, they are, because the buildings are going up. We're just having a little bit of a manpower shortage, but we'll fix that in a little bit. Hey Ben, I just saw your comment. Actually, in this game, not all the roads lead to Rome. I'm building this new residential zone here with, it's basically an enclosed neighborhood. There's, it doesn't lead to anywhere. It doesn't connect to any freeway. Should probably build more parks, or move some of these structures that we built earlier. I don't know. I tend to use parks to kind of bridge the electricity from one block to another. The computer still wants us to build more industrial zone. It did not anticipate the amount of industrial zones the computer wants. Go, fire department, go! Maybe I should have not zoned such a large residential area. Maybe I should have just zoned more industrial zone. I was hoping that as we build more industrial and commercial zones, more citizens would want to move into our city. I'm actually hoping to end this broadcast with a 100,000 population. Kind of upped my goal there from 90,000, since we achieved 90,000 quite easily in the game earlier. Let's lay down one more block of 400 construction cost. Why can't I get 400? The terrain is not leveled, so it's like snapping. Oh, looks like we can get 400 here. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Look at all these people going to use that cable car stop. Look at that. Masses of asses. They just like magically spawn cars. I guess they ride a cable car with their own cars. I don't know how that works in real life. Well, that is one amazing cable car if it can carry people and cars. I'm tempted to use part of this land for industrial and commercial purposes. I somehow thought we were going to need more residential, but that does not seem to be the case, so far anyway. I wonder if we can improve this a little bit by doing that. Guess not. And doing that. Give people more options. But I have a feeling they're just going to use this main road here. It looks like it. So another way I want to connect, if this residential area ever builds up, which it probably never will because the computer has such a high demand for industrial and commercial zone. So what happens if you don't meet the demands of the computer as far as industrial and commercial zone is that the consequence is that you will get unemployment. As you can see, I have 41% unemployment because the computer really wants me to create jobs. So I think I might have to comply with that request. Not really so much of a request as I gotta do it, or people are not gonna be happy with a 41% unemployment. So if you want our population to move into the city, we have to supply more jobs. That's basically what it is. A couple of ways we can do that. We can keep zoning more commercial and more industrial, or we can just try to level up the ones that we have now. I'm tempted to just build more parks and just attempt to level them, because that's one strategy that's worked for me also in this game. And if we don't see any results, then obviously we'll have to just zone more industrial and commercial zones. I could build monuments, I suppose. That's an option as well. Let's go ahead and build out this area here. Kind of maximize the space a little bit. Gonna just destroy that park for right now and actually just use this as space. There you go. And we might as well use these as space as well. Industrial zones. So looks like overall we're doing okay. Looks like the commercial zones, it's starting to build up. I can see some buildings are starting to level up. That's that little chime that you hear in the background. Let's see how well our cable cars are servicing our industrial and commercial zone. Look at that, 754 a week. That is like insane. What mass transit service do you know of in this game where one-stop service is 754 people? Cable cars are the only one I can think of, strangely enough. So we started the broadcast with about, what is it, 67,000 population, I think? And I can't believe we've got 92,000 now. Looks like the demand for the industrial zone is finally tapering off, thank goodness. Hear that chime. I like that chime. I wonder what would happen if I just extend my tourist district all the way to the right. I'm tempted to do that as well. So let's check out our economy. When we started the broadcast, our tourism wasn't generating any income at all. It was at 0. So now it's at 3.9 K per week. That's not bad. From 0 to 3.9. Let's look at our space elevator. Are there actually people going there? Ah, there are. 546 people last week. That's quite a bit of people. I'm just zoning these residential zones for future expansion. I don't know if people are really going to move in here. We need to create more jobs, I guess. I think I actually have enough housing because everything became a high value land when I built the Eden monument. That might be the result as to why there is no demand for house. Wow, look at this. These are my offices. Wow. Almost every single building is a high-rise office building now. That's awesome. Wow. Look at that. I'm so proud of my little city here. So we need to create more jobs, it looks like, if you want to continue to grow our city. Or people are going to leave. Let's see what is the best way to extend this. We need to create more industrial zones. And commercial zones, it seems like. Just for shits and giggles. I mean, originally we were gonna create this as a residential zone, but if people don't have enough jobs, they're not going to move in here. And there's really no demand for residential zones right now as well. Alright, so let's... I mean... Wow. This is still developing. I'm thinking I might extend... Well, one trick we can do to extend the industrial zone a little bit is just demolish the roads. Because the roads, they take up a little bit of space. It creates a bigger block. And we can do the same thing in the commercial zone here. We can optimize our space a little bit better and generate less traffic in the process as well by making less intersections in our city. Okay, so that's a little bit better. Okay, build, build, build. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay down some bike paths, and if you've never laid down bike paths in the game before, you just go to the landscaping tool, pick paths, and then select the bicycle path. There we go. That way that connects the left part to the right part through a bicycle path and not through vehicles. So we need to create more jobs. The computer really just want more jobs, so I might really just forego this residential zone area here and just create more jobs. So let's go ahead and do that. So since this is not going to be a residential zone anymore, let's go ahead and just connect them by road and just go ahead and zone it as a commercial zone. Or industrial zone in this case, rather. we go. I'm hoping that we can keep the population stabilized at 90,000. Let's see, the population is kind of leaving at the moment because we didn't respond to their needs fast enough of wanting more industrial and commercial zones. So hopefully we've done enough of it so that they will now actually stay in the city. Go ahead. Looks like we have some building that caught on fire. Oh, that's my cable stop there that caught on fire. So we need to fix that. It's very important because that's our mass transit line. That could also be one of the reasons why our population declined, because we lost one of our mass transit lines. Okay, looks like this area is building up nicely. Very nice. I'm hoping that we can stabilize the population at 90,000 and not lose too many more people beyond 90,000. Our bank account has pretty much almost caught up to where it was. It was at 10 million when we started the broadcast. Now it's gone back up to nearly 7 million. That's not too bad. The computer wants more commercial districts. Okay. I'm tempted to make this a tourist spot as well. I mean, look at our tourist district here. It's doing really well. So I'm hoping our unemployment's gone down a little bit. Yep, it was at 41%, now it's down to 34%. So constructing these commercial and industrial zones are definitely helping bring down unemployment. It's really once we control unemployment, you can see our population is declining. Once unemployment has gone down enough to a safe level, population will start to climb back up. That's the Space Needle right there, look at that. That needle really can pierce you in the eye if you look at it from this angle. And there's the sole power generator in our city. That's the power fusion plant generating 16,000 megawatts of power. Whereas our city is only consuming, it's only needing 1,000 megawatts. Very nice, cool. So everything is developing slowly but surely. They definitely are developing. I'm tempted to put a landmark somewhere, but landmarks are pretty expensive, so I try not to build too many of them. Statue of Liberty. I haven't built the Statue of Liberty yet. Computer still wants more commercial zones. You know what I haven't built recently are offices. That might actually be what the computer's wanting. Because as our population age, they tend to prefer offices versus your traditional commercial zones. We'll test out that idea, we'll see. Let's see how well our cable cars is doing. Servicing 90 people, not too many in that stop. This one is servicing 766 people, that's crazy. So if we look at our original city here, we're doing pretty well here. Not a single flashing icon except maybe for that garbage there. And then we built this out next using only cable cars. That was our first experiment, and that proved to be amazingly successful. So then we recreated that success here in this island. This island is only connected via cable cars, so even though a highway is passing by through it, we're actually not using that highway at all. We're not connected to it at all. So our unemployment has gone down to 29%. That's good. trying to get these roads to be exactly in the right way for what I need them for. I think that what the computer was really wanting me to build are offices, I'm guessing. So we're probably expanding and building these industrial zones a little too fast because we're not populating them fast enough with workers. They're developing nicely. I'm curious as to what would happen if I turn this into a tourist destination. Convert it from a traditional commercial zone to a tourist zone. I wonder if I can lay cable cars across the freeway here. Tempted to. Can I? Oh, the cable will go across it. Perfect. Let's build more office zones. So again, guys, we built this entire section here without actually any road connection. We just use a single cable car connection as a way to populate this area of the city. And if you watch it closely, look at the number of people going in and out of this cable car stop. This cable car stop is actually used quite heavily. 564 people are using it every week. Okay, so it looks like our population is starting to rise once again. Looks like our unemployment is down to 23%. It's decent, it's not great. We should probably try to improve the land value of our existing buildings, which I guess I cannot. Oh, maybe I can do it here. Not enough space. Okay, we're trying to increase the land value. I mean, it already is a high land value because we have the Eden project, but I noticed even though you have the Eden project and you still build parks or the botanical garden like I just built there, it still helps with the building. The people are still happy that you did that. So the computer's wanting more commercial zone, but I don't really know whether it wants offices or tourist buildings. Could build out some of these areas here. Actually could. Let's build some office spaces here. So our unemployment rate is at 21%. That's higher than I would like. I would like it to be a single-digit unemployment, but I think we expanded our city way too fast. What actually happened was when the Eden project was completed and we created the Eden monument, it turned every single tile in the city as a highland value. And you think that's a great thing in of itself, but as always, there's a downside to that. What actually ended up happening is, since every single tile in the city became a highland value, every single home, you know, ended up sitting on land that's considered high value. So what happened is more people moved in. Our population went from 67,000 when we started the broadcast to 87,000. So we reached 20,000 more people with the same amount of land. Hey, poor Miss Barbas. It is the year 2040 in the game, and you're wondering why is it in English. I don't know. English is really the only language that I know how to speak, so I don't know how to answer that question. I guess that is the only way I can answer that question. Yeah, so the game is in the year 2040, and I know people look at that year. They look at the bank account of 7 million, you know, earning 32,000 per week, and they're wondering is there a cheat or a mod. No, there is no cheat or mod. I'm playing this on the PS4. No cheats or mods. This is just a game out of the box with the all the DLCs. But I think I'm only using the Mass Transit DLC actually, because I'm only using, as far as I know, the cable cars came from the Mass Transit DLC, and I am using that very, very heavily in this game. That is how I connect one point of my city to another. Basically, when I started this city about 3 or 4 days ago now, I think, this was just a grand experiment to see if we can build a city using cable cars, and to build a city where the traffic flow is better than most people's cities. So if you look at my city, we have a population of, you know, over 87,000, and my traffic flow is 91%. I mean, that's pretty incredible for a city of this size. The only traffic I have is this part here, which is the original connection to this map when I started the game. That seems to always end up being a traffic area no matter what you do. I thought about creating roundabouts and things like that, but at 93-92% traffic flow, I mean, we're doing extremely well. I don't think I want to mess around with that at this point in time. We have built all the monuments, at least in the original game. I haven't unlocked the natural disasters monument. And so, for example, the elevator, space elevator is right there. We've got the fusion power plant right there. And we've got the Eden project right there. And I forgot what this is. This is the medical center. The helicopter pad, that's right. And we've got the, I think this is the Hadron Collider, which provides free university, free education for everyone. So even though I built all those monuments, I actually didn't demolish any of my existing buildings, my medical facilities, my universities and schools. I just kept them where they were, because one, I don't really want to have to look for them and then demolish them. I mean, there they are all over the map. And two, I mean, we're making decent money of 31,000 per week. It's not like we're struggling for money in the city. At this point, having built all the monuments and all the prerequisite structures for those monuments, we really have very little use for money at this point in the game, since we're generating so much per week. So this is the newest addition to our city. Again, this has no freeway connection. It's literally a kind of like a self-contained island there. It has no freeway connection. Its only connection to the outside world is this cargo train terminal, hence you see the traffic there. But that traffic is temporal, it's not permanent, right? It's being generated because cars are coming in and out of the cargo terminal. And also we have 2 normal train stations for people to come and go and work in these commercial zones. I'm hoping that our population will bounce back up to 90,000. It was at 92 at some point. So we'll see how it goes. Sometimes you just need to give the computer more time so that people could settle into their new jobs. And some of these buildings are still getting upgraded, so things will settle down eventually. And I have a feeling we really don't need to construct any more residential zones. I think we have enough residential zones in the city. There's a slight demand I can see on the RCI graph there. Yeah, so we're doing extremely well in the city, at least from a traffic point of view. At 90% traffic flow at a city of this size, I mean that is extremely well. That is doing extremely well. I'm tempted to demolish these buildings, the abandoned ones, but you don't really have to. As your economy picks up and recovers, these abandoned buildings will actually get demolished and rebuilt on their own by the computer, so you don't really need to spend the time to demolish these buildings unless you really want to. In a way, seeing those abandoned buildings is a good indicator for you as the mayor of the city to see if there are parts of your city that's struggling. I was about to build another garbage incinerator, but I guess I don't need to anymore. So this is the newest addition to our city, so it's not yet quite as stable as the other ones. Because if we look at the other ones, there's really no flashing icon that I could see. You know, they're pretty stable. The citizens are pretty happy in general. Which is always a good thing. So I'm seeing a slight demand for residential, but I don't think I'm gonna build anything right now. Should build more office spaces though. So this area is developing nicely. It's the newest addition to our city. It's still building up. Should have probably extended our cable car line to go all the way back here. Let's leave it the way it is for now and see if we do okay. Yeah, I'm really tempted to extend the tourist district all the way to the right here, but I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I actually think that tourism is a little iffy in this game. I've never really quite figured it out. We've got the space elevator. I mean, it's servicing 600 people, at least as of last week. That's pretty good. Look at the upkeep of this thing. 16,000 a week? That's crazy. And I don't even make that kind of money in tourism, like 2.7 per week. So let's do this as a test. Let's disable this guy. A space elevator, just to see what would happen. I mean, if I'm only making 2,700 in tourism per week, why would I pay for a structure like the space elevator where it's 16,000 per week? That's insane. But would that cause other problems in the city? You know, once you disable the space elevator, we'll see. We'll find out. Like we do have a little bit of a problem. Not enough buyers, and you know the reason for that is because we didn't build a residential zone that's close enough to both of these places. So here's what we can do. I just want to rebalance the zones. I think perhaps we built a little too much industrial zone, I would think. So I'm going to rebalance things a little bit, I'm thinking. And normally the way I rebalance things is I would de-zone certain zones and then redo the zoning. I'm trying to see... Yeah, we definitely overbuilt the industrial zone because there's zero demand for it. So let's go ahead and demolish or de-zone this and this. In fact, let's go ahead and de-zone this as well. Let's redo the roads a little bit. Oopsie. Just redoing the roads there. I'm just rebalancing my zones because I think I built a little too much industrial zone. So I just want to rebalance things a little bit. I actually think I need to build more commercial zone. I like to see the RCI graph kind of mostly even, if possible. Okay, just to help our population grow a tiny bit, let's go ahead and build some residential zones right here and right here. We are then going to build office buildings right here to serve as a buffer. And then 2 commercial districts right here and then right here. So let's see if that helped to rebalance things a little bit. We could also extend the cable car further back. That's another thought as well. We'll do that last if we really have to. Let's see, what else can we do to improve our current situation? Do we need any more parks? Let's go ahead and build a park right here, actually. People always like parks. And of course, city services. How are we doing on, like, say, the fire department? I think we might be okay on that, actually. Okay, so this is a little bit more of a balanced RCI graph than earlier. So at least there's demand in all areas of the RCI graph, which is residential, commercial, and industrial. Our traffic flow is still at 93, so that's pretty good. Oh, water. Let's see here. Looks like we need some water over here. We forgot to extend the water line. Silly us. Okay, so hopefully we can get some residents to move into this part of town. There, I can see they're starting to a little bit. And once they do, that would help with the population worker shortage here. Nice office buildings. High-rise already rising. So let's give the computer some time and see if we need to do anything further in our city. What building is that? I can't seem to target it. Yeah, I can't seem to target this building to demolish it. That's crazy. Let's look at our unemployment, 12%, so that's much better. We started with a 41% unemployment, and it is now down to 12%. That is superb. Go ahead and turn the space elevator back on, because I think we did have some side effects by turning that off earlier. We should actually move our power line, our fusion power plant, close to here. And go ahead and fix the power line so it goes all the way like that. Let's look at our trash situation. I think we're okay. Let's see, what are they complaining about? Not enough customers. Maybe we expanded our residential, our commercial district a little too fast. We could build a metro line on a subway. We haven't actually built a metro line in this city yet. That is something to consider, actually. There is still such a high demand for commercial and industrial zone. It's crazy. Could all those buildings just get upgraded? Did I not zone these as high densities? I did not. Silly me. Let's go ahead and de-zone these. We really shouldn't be building any more residential zones. But I was hoping by having residential zones closer to the industrial and commercial zones, that would satisfy the manpower shortage, which I don't actually really see now. But also so we can have customers who would buy the goods and services being sold here. So we'll see if that works. Why is there always fire in this island? I don't understand. Whoa, what got demolished there? Why is so weird? I wish it would tell you what building that was. I can replace it. Oh, it's an incinerator plant. Yeah, so I haven't quite cracked and figured out how to do tourism in this game. We've got the space elevator built. We've got all these structures and monument around the space elevator. We have 2 train stations connecting this tourist district. But somehow we're still not doing really good in the tourism department there. Let's check out our unemployment at 8%. So yeah, from 41% to 8%. That's a dramatic improvement. Let's look at our population. So more than 50% of our population are actually adults. So that could be the problem. We need more offices. I think. De-zone some of these and turn them into offices, actually, I'm thinking. Just a hunch. Since more than half of our population are adults or seniors, they probably want jobs in an office environment and not in high-rise malls. So we'll see if that is true. So I can see the office buildings are being built now. And I tend to like office zones better than commercial zones anyway, because commercial zones always require goods and services to be moved in and out of the city, whereas offices All you need are people and offices, and they'll actually be fine. Let's give the computer some time to see if there is demand for offices. It looks like it. Looks like they're getting built. Okay, perfect. Looks like this area is starting to stabilize. That's what happens when you expand too soon and too fast. You have to go through a stabilization period. Okay, things are starting to stabilize a little bit. Our population's starting to climb back up. However, the computer is still demanding more commercial zones, and again, I can't tell whether that's really the traditional commercial zone or office zones. And by simply looking at our population here, when more than 50% of our population are adults and seniors, it would kind of lead me to believe that what the computer wants are actually offices and not traditional commercial zones. We'll see. Okay, so this area is finally stabilizing. That's good. Took quite a while. Tempted to just turn all of these into offices, actually. Let's see if we can. We could extend a second cable car line through here if we need more people. Actually, we could have. I don't know if this will go through this, all of this, the cable lines. Because there is another cable car here. But I don't know if we can extend the cable car lines to go through all of this. It may not work. So our population is bouncing back up. Hopefully it'll reach back to 90,000, but we'll see. Our bank account has definitely bounced back up. We had 10 million when we started the broadcast. We bought all the buildings and monuments and spent 7 million. So now it looks like we're going to be approaching 9 million pretty soon, and that's pretty good. So we would be making more money every week if I don't keep all of these monuments and things. Yeah, I don't really know if they're necessary. I wonder if I should start turning them off. Could create a backlash though. Citizens could become unhappy. Let's look at our unemployment. Oh, it's rising because the computer wants more commercial zones. you look at this area here, this entire section is just commercial zones, or residential zones rather. Why is there such a large demand for commercial zones? Is it because we built too much industrial zone? I'm thinking that we did. So that's what happens when you have an imbalance of things in your city. If you build too much industrial zone, then you're going to need commercial zones, obviously, to sell the goods and services, to sell the goods that you're producing. I could de-zone this area and just turn that into commercial zones. Thinking. Hey Ari baby, I just saw your message there. Yeah, I just been streaming in the last I think 4 days when I made this city. So yeah, it's a pretty small stream because this game is pretty old. It came out in 2015, so it's 3 years old. So it's not in high demand right now. But I did just pre-order Kingdom Hearts 3. So hopefully, if you subscribe to my channel, I'm going to be streaming that in the next day or so when it becomes available. My PS4 is actually, I have a PS4 Pro. It's currently downloading Kingdom Hearts 3 in the background, or pre-downloading, I should say. Yeah, so if you're interested in a live stream such as these, definitely hit that subscribe button and join us. I'm going to be playing Kingdom Hearts 3 on the PS4 Pro, so that's going to be pretty fun. Alright, so we built a city, a pretty good sized city of 88,000 population. We're doing really good in terms of traffic. We have a 92% traffic flow for a city of this size. That's mind-bogglingly good, actually. We just built this part of the city in this broadcast, so we're still kind of stabilizing this part of the city. I'm hoping to reach a population of 90,000 before we end the broadcast, so let's see if we can achieve that. We had a starting bank account of $10 million in the bank, but we had to build these uber high-end monuments or buildings in the game. They're basically the highest level buildings you can build in the game. They're called monuments. And there were some prerequisites to building those. You had to build other structures first, other buildings and landmarks. So all in all these high-rise buildings cost, all these unique buildings, they cost about $7 million. So our bank account is only now kind of bouncing back from all that grand expenditure. Oh, come on, computer. Let me reach a population of 90,000. Come on. Our population growth is slowing down, and the reason for that is the computer is demanding more commercial zones. And that's what you see on the graph there on the lower right corner. That's what that blue bar graph is. The computer wants more commercial zones. And if you don't build commercial zones, your unemployment will rise. As you can see, mine's risen to 18%. But we're basically at the end of our broadcast, our live stream here, and I don't really want to have to zone another area of the map just to reach our goal of 90,000 population. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe with some luck we might reach 90,000, although I'm not really sure at this point. We'll see. So we built a very unorthodox, very non-traditional city in that we didn't use roads to populate the city. We use cable cars. And if you've never used cable cars in the game, they are a very effective means of transporting people from point A to point B very cheaply and with very, very high traffic. This cable car is servicing 470 people, and that's pretty good for in this game. It is 336. How about this one here? Look at that one, 898. Wow. This one cable car connection here has serviced 898 people last week. That is insane. No mass transit in this game other than a cable car could service that many people in one stop. Hey, Airy baby. Yeah, I'm probably gonna close the stream probably in the next 10 minutes or so. I think I started about an hour and a half ago. I lost track of time. Originally, I was just gonna stream and build these monuments, and I was able to build these monuments within about 15-20 minutes of when I started the stream. So then I started extending my city. So this entire block that you're seeing here, this did not exist at the beginning of the stream, so I just built them. But, you know, if you stick around and subscribe to my channel, I do tend to live stream games daily nowadays. And again, I just pre-ordered Kingdom Hearts 3, so I'm going to be live streaming that every day if I can. Just because that's going to be the hottest game. It is the hottest game right now. I like playing City Skyline though. It's kind of a very relaxing game. Very non-stressful type game where you can express your creativity and just build the city of your dreams. In my case, when I built this city initially, my goal was, believe it or not, was to have a really good traffic flow. All the other cities that I've built in the past, and I've owned this game since 2015, not that I played it, you know, all throughout that 3 years, traffic has always been a problem. As your city grows, just like in real life, as your city grows, you run into traffic problems, and once you run into traffic problems, that spills into other areas of your city. Your fire department can't get into a burning building. You know, your hospitals can't get into a sick person, so they die. I mean, all sorts of bad things happen once you have traffic problems. But it looks like I've managed to solve that problem in this city, so I'm kind of very proud and happy about that. So at a few moments there, we did reach 90,000 population. It's kind of fluctuating up and down. But, you know, I'm just going to say we reached 90,000, even though it's declining at the moment. And this might be a good time to end the podcast. I think, you know, we have more than achieved our goal, our original goal of building the monuments and starting our tourist district. We'll continue the podcast perhaps tomorrow, or maybe later today if I can think of something new to build. I mean, we have plenty of land to expand, and we can easily grow our population beyond 100,000. Maybe that's what we'll do either later today or tomorrow. So stay tuned, you know, please like and subscribe my channel, and let's continue building this city and learn how to build a city, which what I'm calling a green city with very little traffic. I mean, this truly is an astounding city. With a 90,000 population and having a 91% traffic flow, you really just don't achieve this kind of city without thinking outside the box, which is what we have done precisely here by using cable cars, which is right here, as our primary means of transporting people from point A to point B. That's just something that, you know, I've seen a lot of YouTube videos of people, you know, playing City Skylines, but I have just never seen anyone just use cable cars as exclusively as we have. We didn't just use cable cars for tourism, we actually used it as our primary mass transit system for our city. Anyway, this is Sin. Thank you for watching this live broadcast, and hope you continue to stay tuned. Please like and subscribe my channel, and take care, guys.